Hey everybody, Bennett for the Better Podcast, and we've just finished watching the Games Workshop live preview. We did a live stream as well, and we were joined by loads of you, so if you want to go watch the live reaction and listen to what me and chat had to say about it as we went along, go watch the VOD. It's good fun. But if you want to know about the Blood Bowl stuff, check out the Blood Bowl channel. If you want to know about the great new fantasy news, you've got Ogres, Rage of Sigmar, and a brand new starter set for the old world. Check out our fantasy channel. But today, we are here to talk about Sci-Fi. And there was some cool news from Games Workshop in the sci-fi space. I'm not going to bury the lead. Yes, there was, in fact, some Space Marine news. But there was some other cool stuff too. And I think the top pieces of sci-fi information, I think will kind of go in reverse order. Orcs got a new battle wagon. It is a new truck that looks very similar to the old truck. It's a cool truck. Orcs have good models. Now they've got one more new good model, and that's okay. Like, Orcs are getting some zhuzhing in this edition. They're one of the starter box armies, and now they've got a new truck. That's cool. It's a great model. They did the mistake, I think, in the preview of showing it versus the old truck, and this one's more stylized, but there's not a huge amount of difference in it. It's a very cool kit, and like immediately chat and me were like, they got to bring back Gorka Morka now, right? They've got so many vehicles. They've got to bring back Gorka Morka. Let's keep our eyes out for that. So Orcs got a new truck. That's coming at some point. Ooh, the old world stuff was cool. There is going to be some more custodians landing for Horus Heresy. Cool models. Again, one of those situations where the Orc truck looked kind of similar to the truck that was before, and the custodians look really lovely, but the models look very, very similar to the ones that came before them. So it's not like, oh my goodness, what is this? It's, oh, is that new? And that's okay. There's some great stuff. Legions Imperialis, they got some Titans that we already had in Adeptus Titanicus, so it wasn't anything cool like Custodes or Demons, so we don't have to worry too much about that. There's a new animation. And then the top two pieces of news, and we're going to start with elves riding dragons, and then we're going to finish with what I think is the biggest news of the absolute day. But first, Eldar Exodites. Now, Eldar Exodites back in the 80s and 90s were Eldar, and they kind of, instead of having a lot of technology, they had dinosaurs instead. And that was awesome. They've not had a big army. They've not been a big thing. They were kind of like a sub-faction, like a custom, not custom, but like one of the White Dwarf rules, like expansion things. It was one of those things that's always floated around as like, that's a great idea. That's a really great idea. And Games Workshop, do you know what? That is a great idea. We'll see you in about 30 years. Well, 30 years is here, and now we've got some Exodites, but they're coming out in Kill Team, not in 40k. So if, like me and chat, you were thinking, wouldn't it have been cool if they'd released the new edition with, like, a new army inside the box? Like the old world had just done, like Blood Bowl did. Instead, they've gone the Kill Team route. And I think this is a way where they're testing out the waters, which I think is mad, because this is Eldar riding Velociraptors. So it's another Kill Team box set, and this is putting... pitching. Blood Bowl guys should know the word pitch, right? This is going to be pitching Eldar Exodites against Beast Snagger Boys, which are the snake bites, basically the orcs, the feral barbarian orcs. So this is kind of like a jungle combat situation here. The Kill Team box has got 3 Exodites and a couple of like little dino dog things against what is quite a load of orcs, to be honest with you. Now, it is Kill Team, but I'm pretty sure these guys are going to have 40k rules immediately. And if you look at the models, I think, I don't know, if this was a full army, if they were like, oh, hey, here's your army, Exodites would be the one, I would be playing 11th edition 40k. As it stands, I think this is a tester. I think they're going to sell this and just watch people buy it and buy it and buy it, like they did with the Vespids. And I think at some point, what time is it? June. I appreciate that's a date, not a time, but you know, Exodites, like, I think they should follow this immediately. I think September they should release an Exodite army, because this has got to be warming up. It's got to be warming up. So the Exodites can be bought in a couple of different ways. There is the Clan Blade, there is the Stone Singer, and then there is a Lay Stalker. But they also have the Dracolites, who are the little dinosaur dog things. But they can also be built as Dragon Knights. I think Exodite Dragon Knights, which is just what you want in an army. Okay, look at this. This is Eldar riding Velociraptors. 40k. 40k is grimdark and gribbly, but every now and again in the lore and stuff, they drop something that's just weird and alien, and this is the kind of thing that they need to do more of. And this is where their strength comes when it comes to like Kill Team and stuff like that. The Amble from Blackstone Fortress, the Zote, they can bring models back. They can bring ideas back and test the waters and see how popular they are. Spoiler alert, this is going to be very popular. There are also 20 new joint ops missions that form a branching campaign pitting the Dragon Masters against the Beast Snugger NPOs. So it is also a co-op or solo game that you can play it through. Absolutely fantastic. The new Kill Team box will be available for pre-order soon. We've waited this long for Exodite. Surely we can all wait a little longer. I don't know. That is, I think, a killer release. 40k, on the periphery. The game is a lot of work to get into, but the setting and the models are generally speaking very cool. Up until now, they've not really been as cool as a techno elf on a Velociraptor. That is quite special. Okay, now that was, I think, the most exciting 40k news of the day. But do you like Necromunda? Because there's a brand new edition coming and it's got some changes. So a couple of things to know. It's been rebranded as Necromunda Skirmish, and it's a new 2-player starter box with battle mats and some terrain. Some, not a lot, as Joey says. You got a new Goliath gang and you've got a new Escher gang, but this I love as well. It is not replacing the current Goliaths. It's not replacing the current Eschers, which is fantastic. It's like an alternate team. So you've got different character types and different weapon types. So you can pick up the Goliath box now and you can pick up the new Goliath box, and it just means you've got more options for your Goliath gang. Love that so much. Another great win from GW. One big not win, though, is the fact that this is a new edition. So I haven't had a chance to speak to Trips just yet, but this resets everything. Okay, now before we kind of delve into that, because the text of this article does talk about it, this is the core set. This is how you get into it. And the Eschers have got some interesting designs. There's got like needle pistols, which is pretty sweet. You've got some really interesting weapons, some very dynamic, very, very, very cool models. Proper Necromunda. And let's face it, Goliaths have always been so iconic for Necromunda. Now these are bigger and they are more new Necromunda than old Necromunda, which means that the Goliaths are kind of weird and like weird, stimmy. This guy's got hooks for hands. You've got some big old weapons. They kind of look like old Necromunda mixed with the survivors of Zion from the Matrix, because it's just got that weird vibe to it. But it's a massive axe. There's a massive stub gun. It's proper Munda, and I'm really impressed. So the box includes sample gang rosters, which are balanced against each other immediately, so you can begin your campaign to claim the Underhive right away. Brilliant thing for starting a game. Really cool. Alternatively, you can add them to your existing gang and take advantage of their specialized war gear and equipment to give you the edge in your fights. You'll also find everything you need to start playing: a double-sided playmat, dice, range ruler templates, condition and status markers, and gang tactics and campaign cards. There is a new core rulebook which updates the game to be quicker, more streamlined, and more balanced. Campaigns have been tweaked to offer more flexibility to players, and dice rolls have been changed, so each roll in the game matters. I cannot wait to find out what exactly that means. Looking at the dice, they look the same dice as they are now, so it doesn't look like they've massively changed the core engine. I'm intrigued. Whippy sticks look trash. Where's the proper whippy sticks? But it looks like they've gone plastic tokens there, like the Blood Bowl ones. That's pretty cool, actually. The rulebook will be available both in the core set and separately. The core set also comes with some Zone Mortalis ruined Factoria pipes for your gangers to fight over. These will be available in standalone set where you can make even more narrative scatter terrain for your games, hide behind, blah, 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 blah stuff. There's terrain. There's new terrain. There's not a lot of new terrain, but there's some new terrain. Then there are gang tactics cards, and there are 2 gang books. So Outlands, basically your Outlaws books, and Underhive. So if you're a core Munda gang, you're there. If you are one of the accessory gangs, so then you are an Outland gang. A new edition with new rules means we have the opportunity to give the gangs and vehicles a refresh too. With the new edition, the rules in older publications will be getting replaced. And therein lies the sucky bit. And Necromunda is a weird one. The new edition for this one came out, I don't know, maybe before 2020. It's been around for a while, and they've just been pumping out expansion after expansion after expansion. New book, new book, new book. Trips loves them. He buys them. He collects them. Now he's going to have to burn them. But it's Games Workshop, so eventually new editions they bloat, and it's like the Big Bang Theory, right? It just everything goes out and then it comes back in, explodes, and starts going out again. And I think that's what we're going to see with this one. If, however, this lowers the barrier to entry to getting in and starting Necromunda, and I've already got texts from people being like, oh my goodness, can we do some Munda? This looks fantastic. What a great place to start. That is very cool. RIP to a load of the other stuff that you've got already, but not the models. And I love that. They've not replaced the Goliath models with new models. They've not replaced the Escher models with new models. So all of the models stay the same. Just the egregious amount of books are going away, which is painful, but could be good. Now, I liked the way the Munda rules played. It was well done. So hopefully they've not oversimplified it. It will be interesting. The fact they've rebranded it Warhammer Necromunda Skirmish is interesting. And to be honest with you, I think there's a Warhammer rebranding coming. And I think we're going to see Warhammer Warcry Skirmish. I think we're going to see some stuff like that. I got a feeling. I don't know anything, but I've got a feeling. Oh, come on. Warhammer Age of Sigmar Skirmish. That's the one. That's the one I want. Anyway, a new edition with new rules, blah, blah, blah. These 2 books will let you use your gang straight away. They feature lore, gang information, everything that you need to play. Underhive crew. So these are combat patrols for Necromunda. So there is a bunch of different boxes you can pick up, and they've got different unit types for your gang. I actually quite like this. So you've got some of like some heavies. One thing with Necromunda is it's difficult to get into in some instances. So Palatine Enforcers, Palanite Enforcers, you want the standard policeman, you want the heavy policeman, but you don't necessarily want 10 of each. So like being able to kind of bring in less models but more variety potentially is pretty useful. And if they do it at a bundle price, could be good. The Orlok one looks pretty cool to me. You get a couple of jetpack guys and a couple of core guys. That's really cool. Vansar, I do like Vansar. Even these redemptionist weirdos look cool. These guys are atrocious. Their neck pieces are separate. Do not do it to yourself. Milton, don't do it to yourself. A bit gutted they didn't do Palanite Enforcers for this one. I think that would have been really interesting, and it would have been pretty much an auto buy because there's a few gangs they've not done there, but the classic gangs are ready and ready to go, which is in itself quite good. So there will be a box each for House Escher, Goliath, Orlok, Vansar, Cawdor, and Delac. That's all like the original stuff. I think we'll probably see a wave 2, and you will see the police dudes. You'll see the cut them up and eat them dudes. And maybe some of the other gangs as well. The police dudes would have gone down really, really, really well, but I don't know. Combat patrols for Necromunda and a refresh of Necromunda. This is interesting to me, and I think is actually going to be pretty good for the game. If this lowers the barrier to entry and gets people playing it, that's amazing. The thing with Necromunda, the campaign is such a huge part of the experience that if they make it too easy to play as a one-off, it could lose its shine. Think about Blood Bowl. Blood Bowl 7's fantastic. Can't play it as a league. It falls apart and it's a bit rubbish. as a small thing by itself to get you into playing the full game, wicked. If this is too much, too thinned out, you know, you got to thin your paints, but when you can drink it, it's too thin. So I'm very intrigued to see how they go about this. But boy, howdy, if I get the chance to dive in, I am going to absolutely dive in. I still want my scavies, I still want my rat skins, and I still hope I can use my spirers. Can I use my spirers? I'm sure I can use my spirers. That'll be a good test. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Necromunda refresh, cool. Do you like it? Eldar on dinosaurs? Big fan. New Orc truck, do you like it? What else is kicking around that you're a big fan of right now? But we're going to wrap up. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back soon with more wargaming content. Happy rolling.